Happy Flosstube Friday, friends. My name is Carrie. This is Tiger Lily Designs. Welcome to Flosstube episode number 90. Yay! Welcome! First thing, let me tell you, today's Saturday, not Friday, so you're not confused. It didn't go up yesterday. I'm a little late, but Flosstube Saturday just doesn't have quite the same ring as Flosstube Friday does, so I stuck with it. It's okay. I'm a little late coming back. Life, holidays, all the things, but as I love to do, I have my table of contents long list of things to catch you up on today. So let's just dive right in like I love to do. So what's on this long list today, you shall ask? Well, if you've been gone for 2 weeks, you have quite a list. So I made it. Let's run through it real quick. I've got 3 WIPs that are stitching. Life, busy. I will give you a life update as well. We're going to talk about my project library. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, see my Vanna thing? Okay. And then we're going to talk about Beanie-A-Long. We're going to do a little Tiger Lily shop update. We're going to talk about my sweater update. I've got Christmas haul and gifts and kindness and all the things to share with you. We're going to talk about 12 days of Stitchmas winners. We're going to talk about my wool applique. Started that. WIP Parade 2024 plans for stitching as well as Tiger Lily. All the things. So buckle in, friends. It's going to be a good one. Since this is called Flosstube, I feel like I should always start with WIPs. Just in case you're one of those people that just wants to get a little stitching enabled, inspired, those things. So let's just dive into those things. Now, remember, I told you I have only 3 WIPs. Well, that's because I've been busy doing about 3,000 other things that aren't stitching, but I did get some stitches in on some projects and I wanted to give you a little bit of update. Okay, so first one is in this sweet little bag. This is my project. They all have project library tags. We're going to talk about that. And that's what I did for 12 by 12, which is super exciting. So this, as you can see, is the Rose and the Giant Pear by Hats. The details are, this is my sweet friend Alicia's birthday SAL. Her SAL that she did for her birthday. So I was super excited to join it. So though everybody knows this one, but the Rose and the Giant Pear, love it. You know, I love a thing when an object that is not supposed to be scale wise bigger than a house is bigger than a house. Pear, house, same size. Love it. Okay. Now, so last time we saw it, I am doing mine with the Vicki Clayton silks. So I have it in this cute little Hobby Lobby perfect size box. Perfect for the, I don't know, 15, 14 or so. Vicki Clayton silk packs, super great. Love that. This is my first time using Vicki Clayton, so I'm super excited about that. They're really yummy. And so, where was I last time? I'm not quite sure. And I love Megan from Seattle Stitcher. She is like hashtag goals girlfriend, because the fact that she can show like a before picture of where she was last time, love that. Ain't nobody got time for that. I mean, you do, and I can't believe you do, because you're pregnant, you're gonna have a baby, you have kids, like you are awesome sauce. But I don't take a picture, so just refresh back, remember with me, or it didn't really matter. I'm just gonna show you where I am right now, right? I know I didn't have the border finished because I did that last night. The border connected. You know, I did a little border connection happy dance last night, and then I went on to the house. So let's just show you. So I definitely didn't have the border connected last time we looked at it. I'm stitching this on 36 R&R. And the color is Espresso, and I got it from Hollis Hands Creates on Etsy. Love her shop. It's got great, great linen selection. R&R is here in Virginia, but it's down in Virginia Beach. But I've never been able to snag it in person. But Hollis Hands, she gets it. So, like I said, border connection, super great. I think I had like 2/3 of the border done. Definitely finished this B, and then I started on this house. It's gonna come together. I mean, listen, I don't know how fast it's going to come together. The house is definitely stitching up super quick because of that checkerboard. It's just fabric color and the red. So every other, it's pretty fantastic. You're building a house, but it's a lot easier to build it than those solid houses, although I do love a good solid house. So, I'm going to keep working on the house, get over, probably work a little bit on this rose, but I'm hoping it's going to come together pretty quick. It's a tiny little thing. It's so cute. I don't know where it's going to go, what it's going to do, how I'm going to frame it, all those things, but I don't have to worry about that right now. That's a problem for future me because right now I just have to stitch it. So, and I'm loving it. It's definitely, it's what I worked on last night, what I worked on a couple nights. I'm getting a couple nights of live. So that was one of my WIPs. This was another WIP that I pulled out. Now you will notice this does not have a project tag, project library tag, and we'll talk about how I distinguished, how I decided who was going to get what. That's what we're going to talk about. Okay, but this one is by Blackbird Designs. It is The Light Upon the Lawn. Basically, it's another giant bird, tiny house. Love it. This one Lily kitted up for me for my birthday, Christmas, I don't know, a while ago. She got me all the called for colors, so I'm using that. And again, this is another linen. Now don't get started. I'm still an Ada Stitcher, so don't get mad. I'm definitely, I would say 50-50. Let's go with that. I'm loving, and the other two projects I have are Ada. So definitely 50-50. I got 4 projects to show you today. 2 Ada, 2 linen. We'll stick with that. It's just fun to challenge myself, and there's so many other things. Anyway, so this one, yes, still in the hoop, slap my hand, I know. But I love it. It's fantastic. And this is on, I don't have my project information card. That is so that is so unlike me. But this is needle and flax for sure. And I'm gonna guess dirty teacup. Oh, I'm guessing that the tracker card's probably sitting out in my little wheelie cart. I have one of those Michael's wheelie carts. I actually have a couple of them, let's be honest. And so there's a couple that live in my studio and that wheel around and have different things on them. But then I have one that stays out by my stitching spot. So that way I have tiers and projects because there's stitching and then there's knitting and then there's like iPads and snacks or you know, all the things you need to stitch. And rather than just piling it up, the basket wasn't big enough. Let's just be honest. I needed more than a basket. So that's what's out there. So my guess is the project tracker card slipped getting back into the bag to come back to here to chat with you guys. But so that is in, remember, this was one of my reject folios because I had to slice it right up the top because I made a butterfly. Anyway, this is half a keeper is really what it is. But it's interesting, right? I love it. Is that it? Oh, that's the fabric. Yes, 40 count, dirty teacup. That's what I'm stitching it on. So that's good. So that was 1 stitch, 2 stitch, 3 stitch go. Now I have 2 more things to show you. One is a finish. That's exciting. Oh, I shouldn't call it a WIP. I should call it a finish. It isn't fully finished. It is just a finished stitching, but I'm hoping to get it fully finished because it's almost time. I'm not a huge seasonal decorator, Valentine decoration person. I love hearts though. So pretty. And I have, this will be my 3rd or 4th Valentine's stitch that is ready for fully finishing. So I will have to go into my bucket and find the other 3. Maybe I'll go do that. Want to see them? Let me grab them. Don't you love it when I just come up with things like change lanes right in the middle of right in the middle of a sentence? Yeah. So I went and I grabbed, this is my favorite bin. Like I use the scrapbook bins, those 12 by 12 bins for all the things really. But this is one that's extra special. Do you know what that is? Yeah. If you're a mom, you know what this dude is. This is a Lego head. So this is bigger. Anyway, this was Noah's Lego bin. So it holds, this is my under the bed, but it's not under the bed. It's in one of the shelves in the closet that needs to be finished. Unless it's a big, if it's a small and it can go in there without being like folded in 100 different pieces, then I put it in there. If it's a sampler or something else that needs to be finished, it does not get folded up and put in here. But this is basically my under the bed box. See, these are all things that need to be fully finished. I know I need to just do it. 4th of July, fall, not doing any of that. Christmas, nah. Yep. Never mind me. Let's just find the 2 Valentines that I was talking about. Oh, here's another 4th of July. I mean, come on, I need to get this stuff finished. Okay, but these are the 2, and I knew they were in here. So these are the 2. So sweet. Now this was a free chart. I will see if I can figure it out and link it down below. I am 95% sure it was from the Farmer's Attic. It was in a newsletter that I got, I'm going to say like in 2020 or 2021. It was a freebie in a newsletter. So maybe you can Google it. I don't know. But I just used a variegated, like a 1 color. This is the Mo's Silk. Love her silks. As a 1 color stitch on this dyed by me Rit Dye Ada, right? And then this was also another freebie. Not Forgotten Farm. Let's go with that. 95% sure. Also super sweet. This is on a 14 count dyed by Patrick Ada. He did some fabric dyeing for me for my birthday 3-4 years ago. So I love this. Again, it's also just waiting to be finished. I think I just like pulled them. So pretty. Look at that coverage. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I just need to, they don't look anything right? Like prim, bright. Which one do you think the third one is? You want to see? Want to see? Okay. So I went and got, this was last year for my LNS. My LNS is in here in Mount Vernon. It is called In Stitches. It's literally like 5 minutes away from my house. Maybe 7 if I hit a light or 2. And I'm going there today. Shh, don't tell anybody. Actually, after you see this, I'll have already been. Maybe I'll share your own stories. Go check out my Instagram stories if you want to see, because I'll tell you why I'm going later. Woo! Tangent world. Okay, so are you keeping up? Because I promise my coffee cup is full. I haven't even like had one sip. So last year I got this. I love this. Like I said, I love a good heart. Love a good heart. Love a good sampler. And this was one of those ones where it was kitted up. It came with linen. I was not stitching on linen then. I was not brave. It was not, it's not that you have to be brave. I wasn't adventurous. I wasn't adventuring into linen last February. So right here was the linen that came with it, but it did come with this gorgeous cottage garden threads floss. So I'll just add that linen to my stash. It's 32 count Heartland linen by Picture This Plus. But I stitched mine on Ada that I just pulled from stash. What is mine stitched on? 14 count. Yeah, it's a big one. Picture This Plus de Bloom. So pretty. And so I finished that this week. Now, I'm gonna guess. Let's see. Hold please. Okay, it measures, yes, I'm at my sewing table, so I'm just using the little ruler mat. So if I found it measures right at 5.5 by 5.5, the frame does. So sometimes when you get a 6x6 frame, the opening is actually like 5 3/4. So you got to be careful. So maybe if I can find like a 6.5 inch frame so that the opening is 6x6, I just don't want it too tight. I'm hoping I can find a frame. I mean, it's a square. If not, then I will do probably a shelf sitter. It's too big for a pillow. Too big. Also, too big for a pillow. Also, too big for a pillow. So I'm not quite sure I'm gonna do it. I have an entryway in my front door. Woo! My Lego box almost fell down. I have an entry table by my front door, and that's the little like the only thing I change for seasonal. Let's just be honest, because except for Christmas. Christmas takes over the house and I'm happy about it. But all the other seasons, I'm just not organized enough to change all those things. So I do just change this little entry table. So right now, Christmas is packed away. I know. Can you believe it? Yay on me. Except for the fact that, I mean, I'm one of those people that puts out Christmas November 1st. I was in Amana November 1st, so it went out like November 3rd or 4th or 5th or something. Whenever I got back from Amana, it was like go Christmas time. So it's definitely, it had its 60 days up in my house and making me happy and all the things. But right before New Year's, I took it all down and it's all packed away and it will come back out next year. So I'm super excited. But anyway, so the entry table is ready for some vignettes for little seasonal decor. And I think I have a Valentine's Day table runner that I can pop on there. That'll be super cute. And then, like I said, these 3 Valentine's finishes that are stitched and ready to go. So they'll go on there. How I finish them, I don't know. Maybe I'll show you next week. Maybe I won't. You just get to wait and see. Aren't you excited? Okay, are you ready for the last WIP? This is also a fully finished. Now, if you've been around my channel for a while, you know, yay, that I do a birthday SAL. I'm a big birthday love. It's birthday month for me. Yay. January is my birthday month. My birthday is January 31st. I'm super excited. I always did. This will be my 3rd year doing a big girl SAL. Now, big girls to me are huge. I mean, relatively, it's all relative, are beautiful big girl samplers. I did Mary Morgan's by Fox and Rabbit. That was my first big girl birthday sampler. She hangs in my dining room. This year for 2023, I chose Harriot Hey by Mill and the Floss Samplers. I did a full overdyed cotton color conversion for her. I brightened her up because, in case you didn't know, color's my jam. So I brightened her up and I took her to StitchCon, and at StitchCon, I filled in the red house. 90% of it. Or when I came home from StitchCon and had COVID, I filled in the rest of it. Anywho. And then, but she was nowhere near fully finishing. And so I had a goal that my next retreat, which was Chantel's 141 in September, I was going to bring her and she was going to get finished. And she did, except for one piece. Now, if you remember, I didn't bring the chart. I have to go find it, you know, because I finished doing the chart in September. So it's somewhere really safe in my studio, somewhere, I don't know where. But I finished her stitching in September, right? But I don't even remember what was here. Maybe it was her name. Maybe it was the saying. Maybe it was her years. I don't know. I am not a purist in that, I change all the colors. I change motifs all the time by accident or on purpose. Both happen. So I figure I am of the school that this is hanging in my room, or in my house. And so I change things to make it my own. And so Harriot Hey was going to be the same. Whatever it was here didn't speak to me, didn't work for me, wasn't what I wanted. So I found a quote and then I had to chart it, right? And then I had to chart it. And then it actually was a tight fit because the space is only this big. Anyway, so there was a struggle. Hashtags real. You know, it's charting and figuring and squeezing and doing and all the things. Took me a little time, but I got it done. I must have had the chart printed out, the chart like for at least a month or two. But life, right? But this week, I brought it out to my wheelie cart and was like, here's the chart. Here's Harriet. She's getting done. And she needs to get finished. She needs to get fully finished. And she needs to get framed and hung in the dining room before I start Birthday SAL number 3. So I got a little bit of time, but the moral of the story is I got my stitching in. So this is the quote. Goodness gracious, I don't remember right this second. Helen Keller? I think that's where I got this quote. I'll have to look. I should have looked before the video. And if I could have paused and figured it out quickly, I would do it, but I don't. I'm pretty sure. True friends are never apart, maybe in distance, but never in hearts. And I chose this quote because like I said, like I just told you during my story time, this is my first year of retreats. I had never been to a retreat until this year. And so this year I went to three actually. I went to StitchCon and I went to Chantel's and I went to Amanda Farm Girl. And the stitching community and the friends that I make, like that is what stitching is about for me. And I love it. I love it. I love it. And so I knew that Miss Harriet, because she was stitched at StitchCon retreat number 1, my first ever. And then she was finished at my second one where I was sitting at a table with all these friends that I had made at StitchCon or made on Instagram or made on what, but here they were sitting at the table with me in real life. It was just fantastic. Love it. If you ever have a chance to go, like people, broken record, I'm sure, but I'm going to say the same thing. If you ever get a chance to go to a retreat, even if you won't know anyone when you go, when you leave, you will have a phone full of friends like that are gonna contacts and all the things. Anyway, so I got this stitching. I used gassed pomegranate, which was one of the colors that I had changed around into here. It was pink. Shocker. I wanted pink to be the words. So I do need to get this finished. This is stitched on a Legacy Fiber Arts. Again, don't have my project tracker card. I am failing with that, but it's definitely a Legacy Fiber Arts. I'm gonna guess covered bridge, but I don't know. I'll tell you that when I get her framed and I bring her back and she's all pinned and framed and ready to hang in the dining room. But this week she did get her stitches on, so I wanted to show you. So that is my stitching. Those are all the stitches. So I'll have to find my list and let's reference where are we going next. Okay, yes. Let's talk about my library for a second, which is over here. It goes like these are the IKEA Billy bookcases, right? And over here. So it's a whole shelf. And then there's more up there too. So 12 by 12. So I came up with let me show you. In case you're new, or in case, whatever. I came up with these project library cards I don't really know. Sometime in the fall, Shelly and I were talking about a project library and being able to, I mean, project keepers. My thing is, I had this beautiful shelf of keepers. And if I was like, oh, I want to stitch on Dorothy's sampler. Listen, there's a lot going on. My head's it's got to keep track of a lot of things. And keeping track of which project bag was holding which project did not make the cut. And so I ended up having to like open up 10. It's usually the last one you look at, right? So I ended up usually, opening up 20 keepers until I found the one I wanted, and then I could take it out and stitch. Well, I was like, there has to be a more efficient way to do this. I need to label some stuff. So if you saw my project tracker cards, I have these cute little vintage stitchy girls and all the information on the back. So there's a set of 4 of those girls. But I took one of them, my favorite one, and I made, it's just like a business card situation, and it's got the details. So it's got the chart, the designer, the start date, and any other miscellaneous notes that, so because some WIPs live for a while. And so trying to remember, are you using Vicki Clayton? Are you using Overtide? Did you do a custom conversion? Is there a hashtag? Those are the kinds of things I'm putting in the notes category. Hashtags for sure, because I'm really want to do better about remembering all the things. Like Alicia has one. Darn if I didn't write it down on here, but I'll have to get my handy dandy hot pink pen and write it down here. Yeah. So anyway, I for 12 by 12, which is fantastic. Love Kiabee's 12 by 12. The community of it. So fantastic. I get heart palpitations thinking about starting 12 things on one day. Sitting and stitching for 12 hours. Would be a dream come true. Well, yeah, I'd love it. I love it. I probably would squirrel, let's be honest. And I love a good plan. Love a good plan, love a good list, love a good plan, all the things. But starting 12 things in one day, it's a little overwhelming. So, but I wanted to participate, right? So she had fantastic, I love it. Like I said, the community involvement, it's not, you can do whatever you want. That's the great thing. Do whatever you want. Like, you could start 12 things. You could start 6 things and do them for 2 hours each. You could do all your WIPs. Just pick up one WIP and work on. You do whatever you want. But the great thing was, and so she had a couple different guest Instagram livers, which were so fantastic. Loved every single one of them. Seeing all my friends, chatting with Kia. Love it. But so I wanted to play, right? So I was like, what am I going to do? Because I'm not going to start 12 things. It was already the 11th hour and I wasn't prepared, and I'm okay with that. So what I decided to do for me, for at least for a couple hours that day, is organize my project library. Now I had big grand plans. We're in parade season. Oh, don't you love a good parade? I love all the parades. Let's just be honest. It's my favorite time. Because when I'm sewing, I have Flosstube up, and so I probably have 12 days worth of parades queued and ready to watch, so which is great. Always have a notepad next to me. My wish list is long, which is fantastic because it's my birthday month. So happy birthday to me. So this parade season's perfect. So I've got parade season going on, and I was like, okay, I'm going to touch some WIPs, and it's not about, I am going to do a WIP parade. Yeah. But in the meantime, I don't know when. It's sometime in January. Let's just stick with that. That's the commitment. Sometime in January. But in the meantime, I decided that all my things are going to get labels. Now, you remember, this one didn't get a label. Why is that, you may ask? Okay, so this is how I distinguish. This is how I did my project library. Project library, everybody got, you have these cards, and then I had these Amazon things go on all the big, I love a big chunky. Now, I didn't make this bag. This was a gift from Shelly, one of her friends in one of her Ohio stitch groups makes these bags. Super cute. Look, it's got a little hole in the sheep. Okay. But then you grab these Amazon things. She uses a great big YKK chunky zipper, which is my favorite. Which is great because the thing just loops-de-roo right on in, and then you can pop it in and out, and they're reusable and all the things. Great. So again, how you can see right here, how did I distinguish? Okay, so we're going to have a little bit of a stats story. I know I'm going to give you all the stats when I do my WIP parade, but a little bit of teaser of fun. What do I got? Like, you want to talk about it? Yes, super fun. Okay, so this used to be a shoveled Hot Mess Express. Let's just be honest. But I categorized it. I made a list. I'm organized in such a way. So I have 10, what I'm calling big girls. Now, how did I categorize big girls? It was something like 100 and it had to be over 100. Both numbers had to be well over 100. Really like 150, 250, something like, so 200 by 300. That's how I stitch count. Stitch count was how they got categorized as big girls. A couple of them, like I have one, without spoiling, I have one where I'm doing the lessons in Abecedarian, which is actually 6 different pin pillows or pillows stitched 1/1 on 28 count. So tiny little things, but I'm stitching them all as one piece. So when you put them all together, they do become she's not a big girl, but she's a long, skinny, long, like 500 long. So anyway, the math. It was all about math. So I have 10 that are categorized as big girls. How many am I going to finish? We're going to talk about plant. That's a whole nother ball of wax. Stay on track, Carrie. So I have 3 that are classified as mediums. Somewhere in the 90 by 90, 100 by 100, 120 by 120, something in that medium, right? I have 9 projects that got labeled. No, just kidding. Scratch that. I have 8 that are projects that got labeled that are smalls or collections of smalls. So for example, Polar Plunge. I have all 6 of those ornaments. Love them. I've stitched one. Haven't fully finished it. I've stitched one, but I have them all in one project bag. And so that's one in the category of smalls. Now there's 6 of them. So, it gets a little gray and fuzzy, but we're going with it. And then same thing like with my Prairie Schooler, my 12 days of Santa's Prairie Schooler, which I'm at like 7 or 8 done, so there's like 4 or 5 left. But again, those are in the smalls, but they're collections. You get me, whatever. So there's 8 project keepers with those in them. And then there's 9. That's where the 9 comes in. 9 that are like this beauty, this cutie, that are in the, you can finish this project in less than 5 days. So I'm not even going to make you a card. That's that. If you, when I touched and opened these WIPs, as I was organizing my project library, if I opened up the project and I was like, basically you say to yourself, why isn't this finished? It is so close. And if I looked at, now we'll see how well of a judge I am on, can I finish this in 5 days? Now that, Valentine's, the cute little one that I just finished, that came in that category. That was one of them that I opened it up and I was like, why isn't this done? This could be done in 5 days. So I focused on it and finished it. So there were 9 projects that are in the, you can finish this in 5 days. I'm not even going to waste a card on you because you're not going to be here that long. In theory. We'll see. So how quickly can I get through those? Who knows? But they didn't even get labeled. At least I have them listed. And we'll visit them again during my WIP parade coming soon. And then I'll be honest, there are at least 3 fully kitted waist. There's like 8 or 9. There were 3 big ones. Like, I'm shocked. You might be shocked. You might be mad. I'm not mad about it. I've moved on. But I'm letting them go. So there's about 8 or 9 projects that I'm abandoning, that I am going to somebody else, pass along, all the things. I'm abandoning them. So we'll talk about them in the WIP parade. I'm not going to show you them today. That's just fun for later. But that's what I did during 12 by 12 is I organized. And so now if I'm like, oh, I want to stitch on, I can't even think of a project. If I want to stitch on something, I can come back, read the labels. It takes me like 20 seconds to find what I want, and then I'm getting it done. Organization matters, man. Love it. Love it. All right, so what other things we have to chat about today? So I am, like I promised, I have 2024, I have lots of 2024 plans. There are stitching plans and there's Tiger Lily like shop business fun community plans, neither of which I'm going to discuss now. I'm just letting you know they're coming. They've been on my to-do list. One thing that is coming soon. Now, I really wish it was done by now, but it is not. It is so close, so close. So if you saw on Instagram, sometime in mid-December, I did a live. What was I doing? I was boxing the 12 days of Stitchmas giveaways. Oh, it's tangent. There's still probably 5, 8, 7, somewhere. So there's some winners, prizes that aren't claimed. So if you entered some of the daily winners, the grand prize winner was claimed. So, you know, there's that. Super excited. Lots of prizes have been claimed. But if you did participate in the daily giveaways during 12 Days of Stitchmas and you haven't gone back and watched the 12 Days of Stitchmas daily giveaways video, please, after this one or later, take a time to go and make sure that your name wasn't called, because I do have 5, 7, 8, I don't know, a bucket full really of prizes that are still unclaimed. And so I definitely want to get those winners out. So check, maybe you won and like you didn't know. But anyway, during that live on Instagram, we were talking with friends, and listen, this is how the best ideas come, is you're just like chatting with friends. You're like, oh, we want to do that. Okay, let's do that. So if you remember, I'm also a knitter, new knitter, not an expert, never will say that I have knit 5 hats, 2 sweaters, and a partridge in a pear. No, I'm just kidding. 5 hats and 2 sweaters. That's it. And I've got like 3 different socks there's not a sock on my foot yet. So not it. But so I am not by any means an expert. I am a person who loves to make all the things, and I love to make all the things with my friends, and I think it's more fun to make with your friends, to do all the things. So anyway, so we were talking, and I might have enabled a few of my Stitchy friends, yay, to want to try to dip their toe, to give it a whirl in the world of knitting. Now, as I mentioned, I went straight to hats. Sue from Legacy Fiber Arts, she was my enabler. I will be forever grateful. She sent me a skein of her beautiful hand-dyed yarn and a set of needles and a free hat pattern. And she's like, go at it. You got it. And I did. And I didn't bring that hat. But since then, I have done 4 or 5 other hats, different patterns, different things. One I like, just shocker, I like to make things up on my own and kind of take a pattern and tweak it and change it and do it and all the things. So I'm not really a good rule follower. Sometimes I'm a good rule follower, but anywho, we were talking about some Stitchy friends and they wanted to knit, and I said, well, let's knit together because that's fun. And so the Beanie-A-Long was born. Now, I promised, like I said, this was back in December. It was January, and it's January, I don't know, 6th, 5th, 7th, early January time right now. And it hasn't started yet. Don't worry, it's coming. So this is a hat that I did in the fall, hot pink. I could put it on, sure, we'll put it on. Yeah, didn't weave in my end yet. So this was a hat that was a pattern and then I tweaked it. But I tweaked it for my personal use, right? I wasn't doing anything. I was just tweaking and doing and knitting a hat. Well, then we're like, we're going to do a knit along. And I felt kind of responsible to, if I'm going to teach you, not teach you, teaching is wrong. If I'm going to show you what I do, then I at least should have a thought, right? A plan, a guideline, a roadmap. I needed a roadmap. And some might call it a pattern. I'm going to call it a stitchy road, or a knitting roadmap. Knitting with Tiger Lily is going to be fun. But so what I decided is, if I'm going to do this knit along, I'm going to do it right. And I wanted to listen, if you want to do it, we're going to learn together. We're going to do a gauge swatch, because gauge swatch is important. This is a skill. Like, we're not going to skip steps. We're going to gauge swatch because that's important for later on. And it's also important for if you want your hat to not be, 2 small hats can stretch a little bit, but 2 big hats is like, sad, right? So we're going to learn about gauge swatching. We're going to learn about all the things, all the basics. We're going to have like a yarn 101, or yarn 101. That's about the different things of yarn. Yes, it's like a whole nother language. Again, I barely speak it, but I know enough to be dangerous. So we're gonna do it. And then I'm gonna have a materials. I'm gathering all the like basics. But in the meantime, I'm also knitting a prototype and taking copious notes so that I can put together a kind of knit a hat vanilla is what they call them. It's kind of like plain. It's just a stockinette with a rib fold over brim. Now you don't have to do the fold over brim if you don't want to. We'll have options, but it's very similar to this, but different, right? Conceptually. So I picked one of the beautiful, this is Pirate and Robin. This was one of our 12 Days of Stitchmas featured yarn dyers. So I used one of her yarns. I had Patrick. So this is Patrick's hats for the winter. And so he picked it out. And so like I said, I'm working the prototype. Just yesterday, I got to the crown decreases. So I got my markers in for the crown decreases. I could finish this tonight. I could have finished it last night. Needs a little more counting, a little more note taking. And so last night wasn't the mental time space for me to do that. But moral of the story is soon, so close. And then I'm going to launch the Beanie-A-Long. So I'm not going to promise a date because, there's also the Keeper Club. But sometime it'll start before the January ends. We'll go with that. I'm going to have the Beanie-A-Long. Like I said, I'm going to have a materials video. And in that materials video, I'm going to tell you all the basics you need. Like you see that, you're like, what is that doohickey? What is this? If you're a knitter, you know all these things. Like you know all the doohickeys. If you are a stitcher only or a never knit before, you're like, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. Because I certainly didn't. I didn't know squat from squat. And so I'm going to give you a Stitchers Beginners material list. Stitchers Become Knitters type of. We'll have to come up with a hashtag, a fun little thing. Anyway, I'm doing a little crown decrease and that's it. So it's a one skein wonder. And again, we're going to talk about Yarn 101 because if you go to your big box store or if you go to your local yarn shop or you go to one of the great Etsy shops online that we featured during 12 Days of Stitchmas, you're like, what do I want? Do I want this or that or the other thing? Like color's one thing. Everybody gets color, right? But then there's all these, anyway. This is not the Yarn 101 video, but I am going to do that. And then we're going to have, again, I'm going to break it down by weeks probably. I did take some pictures while I was stitching this so I can, knitting it, not stitching, so I can try to break down how fast this came together because I really don't even know. I don't even remember when I started it. Let's be honest. Since then, I don't know. So that's what's coming, the moral of the story. And like I said, there's tools. This bag is full of all these tools and things. Not even a cute little bag. Yeah. Yeah. So that is the Beanie-A-Long. The moral of the story is the Beanie-A-Long is still alive and it is coming. I'm hoping next week I will be able to give you the details, all the things. Or in the meantime, make sure you follow me on Instagram because I definitely am popping back on. Now, if you noticed, maybe you didn't, and that's okay. I took a little bit of a social media break, because I did that huge surge of 12 Days of Stitchmas. So I was like, go for December 1 through 12. And then my kids came home from college. And so I have 2 kids in college. They came home. They were home for 3 weeks. They are both now back in Clemson. Thank goodness. Back in Clemson, ready to start school next week. So I am back in full effect on the Instagram, doing the things, all the things. So like I said, if you want to get a little sneak peek before next week's video, give me a follow, hit the bell on Instagram, and I'll be honest, I'll tell you a little story. I created this the logo. Listen, half the fun is coming with the logo, right? The Knitting with Tiger Lily logo, little graphic doodah thing. I love it. I'm in love with it. It's the cutest thing. Maybe I'll share it today on Instagram just for fun. Little teaser. It's adorable. Like now I just want to do all that. But if you could see the table right now, I can't do all that because it is Keeper Club time. So let me switch to just a minute. I'm sorry. I keep referencing my list because my list is like, whew. Okay. So it is Keeper Club time. So that's exciting because that's what's all over that. I have my stuff piled on top of Keepers. Shh, don't tell anybody. It's okay. I just told you. The January Keeper Club is going out on January 25th. So everybody who's in the club was charged on the 1st. I think there's just a handful, like 1, 2, less than 5 stragglers that I'm still working through issues, but that's it. I will tell you right here, another reason to follow me on Instagram is there will be extras. There will not be extra club spots. No, there will be extra boxes. The way the numbers came down, the way the club memberships are working out right now, the way I'm going to roll forward with the club memberships, I'm not adding club spots, but I will have more than usual, unless the shipping gremlins lose a bunch, which, knock on something, they haven't lately. They've only lost like 2 or 3 per club shipment. Then I will have, I dare say a number, 15 to 20 extra January boxes. I did say the number. I said it here. Those will be available as a one-click only on Instagram, meaning on one day on Instagram stories after the club boxes have shipped out. So you will see on my post that the boxes have gone out into the world. 25th-ish, sometimes a day or 2 early, never late. By the 25th, they go out and they go into the world. Now, once they've all been received, because I have to keep some for the shipping gremlins, once they've all been received, the extra boxes I have on hand ready to ship, I will sell as a 1 box only on Instagram stories. It's just the easiest way. It's not enough for me to send out an email to the wait list, because the wait list is really, really long. And I can't do it this way. So this is how I do it. So I've never told you this before, so if you're on Instagram stories, you've seen it, but here you are hearing it. So I do share, again, Instagram has this little bell notification. That's the only thing I can tell you. As a consumer on Instagram myself, I also have hit the bell for some of my favorites. So that way, when they make a post, whether it's a story or a post, my phone pings immediately. So listen, that's all I can say about that. So there will be, that's the Keeper Club. Yay! I'm so excited. It's so good. You can't have a favorite child. But I'm just saying that it's pretty good. I kind of really love it. Okay. Anywho, so that's the January Keeper Club. Well, let's do some haul and then Stitchy Kindness, and then I'll give you a little bit more of Tiger Lily shop update. Want to? Yeah. Okay. All right. So it was Christmas season, and I was so spoiled by some of my friends and family, and I just want to share with you some of the Stitchy haul, gifts, and kindness that I got since I was here last. Now, so I went and grabbed my basket. This is my 1809. So this is the basket that used to hold my whips. Remember the one I said it wasn't big enough to go back into my thing? Yeah, anyway, so now I use it to hold all my stuff that I'm going to save for the video. It was overflowing. So I just want to show you some of the things. This was the sweetest, like, I did save it from my Christmas stuff. It is going to go away safely now. But my sweet friend Jody, Simply Stitching Ocala here on Flosstube, made me this ornament. So I met Jody at StitchCon. Like I said, you know, friends that you make and real life friend. Love it. Love this so much, Jody. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Another one of my Stitchy friends, I haven't met her in real life, but we've been Stitchy friends online for a long time, is my sweet friend Sarah, handmade by Sarah W. This is my 3rd ornament on my tree from Miss Sarah. She knows I love cardinals. She made me this sweet, sweet ornament. She made me 2 last year. And then she also, I think Lily forgot that she was going to swipe these. She got me these awesome from a little boutique in her town in Alabama. If you don't know, I'm a Tiger fan, a Tiger super. She's like, these are perfect for game day. And I was like, yes, yes, they are. And my Lily saw them and she's like, oh, and I think she was going to take them. But, you know, the swirl of going back, she forgot. But my guess is between now and then, they might get stolen, they might not be. But either way, they're going to get worn at a Clemson game. So thank you so much, Sarah. So, so sweet. I got lots of cards and kindness. So my friend Jane sent me this beautiful bundle of just goodies, like lotion. You know, as stitchers, we always need lotion with the winter and all the things. I am intrigued. She says this was a small needle. I don't know what this is yet. A needle thing? She said it was from a Snuggle Monkey, a small boutique, but it's written in not English. So I don't even know. I have to Google that to figure out what I'm supposed to do with. I can't even tell from the graphic what it's. Does it thread the needle? Maybe, I don't know. And then needle storage tins and a bookmark and tissue. Thank you so much, Jane. And there was a sweet little sweet card. That's my favorite. So I save all the cards and put them in my little, you know, I'm sentimental that way, I guess. So I save all my Christmas cards that I received. And anyway, so that was so fun. So thank you. My sweet friend Liz. You know, I love to paint my nails. I mean, I don't have like long nails, but I do. So she's so sweet. Love the pink and pink. Yes, please. So fantastic. Doesn't it look good? Yes. So thank you. And then also, so this was I won. So I am a member of Liz Matthews' Patreon, which if you're not, pause the video right now, go to the link below that I'm going to put and go join her Patreon. I'm a member of a couple different Patreons and hers is a favorite. If you have a favorite, I love them all. I love them all, but it's fantastic. And so for 12 days of Christmas for her Patreon, she did giveaways. So generous. One of them was a keeper, a mini keeper. Obviously I didn't enter for that one, but she did have a couple kitted up projects. And I did throw my name in the hat for some of them. And I won one from her Patreon. So I was so excited. And this is a sweet little, so she was so sweet. She probably had like 3 or 4 fully like kitted up charts and threads. I know. Can you imagine? And so I just add your favorite fabric. That's one of those things where, you know, everybody has their own favorite, whether it's Ada or big or little or linen or Lugana or whatever. She wasn't going to pick that, but this all applicable. So this was so cute. Now this, she's calling it a pinky. It's 96 by 186. It's like a book. 186. So if you did it on 90 count, if you did it on 20 count or 40 count, whatever, it'd be 9.5 inches. That's not a pinky. That is not a pinky. It's ginormous. It's a book. Maybe it's a book flip pop. But it was so sweet. Look at the little lovebirds and the roses and all that little piece. Let love grow. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I think it would be a cute little motif if you just did one of them and made it into a small. That might be a sweet little like retreat. Ooh, did you see the wheels turn? Did you see? Did you see? That, because I love this little rose right here and this, maybe just like, yeah. Then it wouldn't be quite so book-like. Giant pinky. But I won this from Liz's Patreon. So like I said, she does giveaways every once in a while. She does like product reviews. And of course, then she does PDF charts. Like the value is bonkers. Love it, love it, love it. So that was it. Another sweet card. Here's a card. I don't want to share the picture. I didn't ask them, but this was from one of my small vendors. She sent me a card. It's got a family picture. So I, don't want to share. But I love it nonetheless. So that was some of the things. Now, my sweet friend Shelly spoiled me rotten. But I do want to show you some of the things she sent because if you're a fellow maker, you might want to make with me. So first, and it is all gone, don't even think of that it lasted that long, was this 3 cookie trend thing, which I've now washed and is ready to go for next year. Of her homemade fudge. Oh, where is that recipe? It was in the kitchen on the thing. Did it get packed away with Christmas? I'll have to find it. Good thing I know. Where to get it? It's beautiful chocolate fudge and peanut butter fudge. The house was 50-50. I will tell you, chocolate and peanut butter, you mix them together, winning. And then best fudge ever. Best fudge. It was her grandmother's fudge recipe. So maybe she'll share. This is Shelly from Antique Needleworkers, in case you were like, who are we talking about? Beautiful, gorgeous, yummy, best fudge ever. Everybody needs fudge in their life. Nothing's January, Valentine, fudge. Make it so good. And then down below, sneaky little girl she is. During her 12 days of videos, she was asking questions every day on Instagram. This favorite movie, favorite this, favorite that, favorite cookie. I, of course, answered all the questions because I do. And my favorite cookie is a molasses cookie. And she made me like 2 buckets of molasses cookies. Yes, I might have had a cookie for breakfast every day during December. I mean, it's fine. Like, she told me sugar-free, calorie-free. Like, they weren't. Like, but I'm going to live in the bubble, the la-la land, that those calories don't count. That's a problem for future me when my pants don't fit. Then there was this beautiful, I am new to the world of hoop because I am new to the world of linen. And I'm an in-hand Ada Stitcher, but she sent me this beautiful hoop to add. This is a 6-inch princess. Have you seen her hoop? Love it. I know, but fantastic. So my hoop collection is growing. Then, have you seen that? So she's done this. This is the Susan Stanley doll making experience. That's what we're calling it. A doll quilt experience. Look at that. Isn't that the cutest? Oh, it's a little postcard. So you make I'm trying to figure out what I can show you. Go back. Shelly has shown that she has finished her cover, her quilt top. Super adorable. Look, it comes with this drawstring bag, and inside is all the things you make to make this doll quilt experience. It is fantastic. Like, the attention to detail on that whole thing was adorable. So it's all hand stitching, all hand quilting. Like I said, it's for a doll. So sweet. So sweet. I can't wait to get into this. And then, okay, where am I going to put this? Okay, I'll put that right there. And then, okay. First, it starts with this vintage tin. It's adorable. It's fantastic. It's even better because Shelly has a matching one at her house. So when she was antiquing on her birthday, she was buying me presents and she found this tin that matches the one that she has at her house. And she keeps, to the house of a friend, the road is never long. So not only was the tin beautiful, but then you open it up and it was jam-packed with so much goodness. Okay, now, so remember when we were in Amanda, she taught me how to do hand quilting using, those templates. They were acrylic templates, and you take a pencil and you it was a hexy thing. Of course, I didn't bring it. It's over there somewhere. But this was something she found. And it's got all these special notes in it and all the things, and we're gonna make it. But it's basically, it's by a company called By Kate. And you use these, instead of tracing with a pencil and an acrylic ruler, it's these rubber stamps. So there's a stamp pad and a block. And so you take your fabric and you stamp it, and then you cut that out. And this is how you hand piece. So you don't have to draw the lines with the pencil. It takes like a second to stamp it on the back and cut it out. And then you can hand piece. It's all about hand quilting. I had never hand quilted before ever. And now I'm going to be an expert, at least on hexies. Because she's got me all the things, the needles and the doodah and the thumb and the block and the pad cleaner and the pattern and all the things. So all I have to do is pick my favorite fabric, which I've already actually picked a fabric selection. I save all my fabric scraps. Now, shocker, I have a lot of fabric scraps. But I like to keep them organized by designer. So that way, if I ever want to go back, either by color, rainbow, or by designer, Tula. So they're either by color or designer. Tilda's over there, Riley Blake's over there. There's more fabric in my studio. I will have a studio tour. I had so many friends ask me. I think Holly was like, when's the studio tour, girlfriend? I'm gonna get to it. It's coming. It's on the list. But so I keep my scraps. I try to keep them, if they're designers, collections and things, I keep them together so that way if I make a scrappy project, then all the colors coordinate. Isn't that the great thing? Like all Tula's pinks and purples and aquas and all the things, they always all play so nice together because their tones are the same. The same thing with like Tilda's, and the same thing with like Lori Holt. Like all of her colors, for the most, Fig Tree, all they play nice together. So I keep my scraps together. Well, if you remember from April, the April Keeper Club was Tilda. Beautiful Tilda fabric, beautiful collection. Totally forget what it's called. The keeper's over there, I think. But I have a lot of scraps from that. So I think that one of those projects, I'm gonna start small, probably gonna make a table runner because a quilt seems a little overzealous for a hand piecing thing. But I can totally make a little table mat or a table runner if I get a little adventurous. You know, a little console table, not a full like kitchen table. No, a little console table run on, small. And then last but not least, I do have a couple stitchy or knitting. Let me just show you. This is a fabric. So if you knit, this fabric shaver. So I did research and found that this is I'll let you know, but this is the one I grabbed for that. I also, because I was blocking my sweaters on towels, my second sweater, I got a little, like, my mama got me a sweater blocker. So this is my sweater blocker set. So I'll show you my sweater in a minute. And then, okay, so I'm going to show this during the Beanie-A-Long materials options. So this is an extravagant option. You don't need it, but it's an interchangeable circular. It's the shorties. I'm so excited. So it's an interchangeable needle set, the shorties, and it's pink. Right. So I'll show you those in detail if you want to see that. That will be during the Beanie-A-Long materials video, which is coming soon. Okay, so we're getting close. I'm putting things away as we go. And so the table is getting uncovered and back to just keeper land. So a couple more things. I do have my knitting bag. Now, so many of you guys talked about my mother. Remember, this is my mother's artwork that I made into a bag. So I do have plans to release that or offer a tote bag situation sometime soon. TBD. But I wanted to just show you, because it's fun, my sweater update. I'm not putting it on my head again. We'll save that for next week, shall we? So I did do a little marker. So this is where I was last week, because it's always fun to see, or last week. 2 weeks ago. This is where I was 2 weeks ago. So I knit this much. No, which, you know, doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're going around like 200 plus stitches and changing colors and knitting a beanie and stitching and, you know, having Christmas and hanging out with your college kids, that's not bad. So this is what I got. Remember, this is my beautiful 100% wool from Francis the Shepherd from Sitari. That's it. Sitari wool. Beautiful. We went down and we saw them, the Shenandoah. Love that. That's my favorite. Like seeing the sheep, knitting with the yarn, and the lanolin. Oh, so fantastic. It's not super wash. This is my first sweater, in case you're wondering. I didn't like plan on talking about it, but this was my sweater number 1, cardigan, free pattern by Tin Can Knits. I will link it down below. It's a super wash, worsted weight. Hey, it's wearable. It's, you know, learning. There's just, don't look close. I mean, you can, but whatever. So that's my sweater. That's the update on this. Oh, one more thing. Squirrel. I brought it over here because, you know, Christmas is almost over. And I wanted to show you that I did indeed do something. So I don't just talk, I don't just collect, although I'm a very good collector. I'm a very good collector. Remember when I was in Amana, I've never tried wool applique, right? So I did the quilt piecing in the hotel room in Amana. Yep. But then we also went to 2 different shops, which were Bonkers Enabling and Farm Girl Dry Goods. So over here, as I'm looking over, you can't see, but over there is a whole shelf of wool applique ready to go. In kits and books and things. So I decided you better do something with something. So this was a kit that I bought at the Little Red Hen, which was a fantastic shop. Again, it came all kitted up. I can't show it to you. Of course, didn't take a before picture. It was adorable. It was just all these different pieces of felt. Never done anything like this before. Came with the pattern. I can't show it to you because I think that's like a chart you don't show. But I got this far. So, I mean, what you end up having to do, like, this is not a wool applique. If you want to do wool applique, let me know. We'll think. Not anytime soon. We're doing a Beanie-A-Long first, friends. But this was my first time at wool applique. Now, I have not, you will see. Let me show you up close. First of all, there's a little glue, but you will see nothing is stitched. Yes. So the nothing has been appliqued on. Right now, it's all just been fusible ironed on. But you have to trace and cut and do all the things. So it's all ready to go from here to here. So you see all the stitches, the stitching. Now, see, they've got blanket stitching around the tree trunks. I'm not quite sure that's my look. I'm going to do, we'll see. We'll see. TBD. But step one, I've done this and I'm pretty excited about it. I love it. Of course, I had hashtag goals. This was like right after Stitchmas ended. And I was like, I'm going to get this and it's going to be done before Christmas. And it's going to be able to sit out and enjoy for like a week. And then I made Christmas cookies with Lily instead. And watched movies and hung out, which is fantastic. I wouldn't trade it for the world. So this did not get done. This got this much done. So by next Christmas, yeah, this will be a table mat thing that will go into one of my vignettes with some stitching around. Anyway, so, and I have it in the sweet basket, little sewing basket. This is my first one. This is my first one that Shelly got me when she was antiquing, and I have 3 now. So, because they're perfect just to, I has all the stuff in it on the inside, but then once it gets to this, I have to just, anyway, that's the wool applique. Let me refer to my list, see what I have, if I have forgotten anything. One thing. So birthday sal, I did mention it a little briefly. I am going to have a birthday sal number 3 is coming today. Hopefully, as long as the storm doesn't close my LNS. Here I am in Northern Virginia. We're on the cusp of, is it going to rain? Is it going to snow? Is it going to ice? Is it going to bust? Boom or bust? I don't know. But as long as my LNS is going to be open here in the next little bit, I am going to pop up there and basically just sit on the floor and look at all the samplers. That's how I do it. They kind of look at me funny. I'll be honest with you. It's a really tiny store and jam-packed, but I need to see all the things. I've been trying to watch WIP Parades. I've been making notes on WIP Parades, and there's a couple contenders for the birthday sal. But my birthday sal is the big girl that I will start on my birthday, that I will finish in 2024. So I gotta love it. I gotta love it. I love it. I love it. I love all these. Don't get me wrong. I love all my other big girls. But this one always gets to the front of the line immediately. So I don't have one that's like slam dunk contender right now. I know. But hopefully today, after a couple, hopefully not hours, but a little bit of time at my LNS, I might find some options, come back, stew with them, pull some floss. I guarantee you I will do a floss conversion, because that's what I do. I will brighten it up. I will lighten it up. I will do something to it. Over diet versus DMC. I don't know. We'll see. So I'm auditioning charts, step 1, hopefully today. And then narrow that down, pull a floss toss, color conversion, might have to go back next week, pull it all together. But again, I'm hoping to get that information or that sal nailed down before next week's video. That's a commitment. I just made it. Are you excited? So that way it gives you at least 2 weeks if you want to join me. I have so many friends and I love it so much. So many friends that joined me doing Mary Morgan's and so many more friends that joined me doing Harriot Hey. So I want so many of my friends, if you want to, if you love it, who know? I don't know if you're going to love it because I don't even know what it is yet. But if you do, I would love for you to join me, my birthday sal. So the details are coming, like I said, next week. Hopefully I'll have it all nailed down. And you'll have plenty of time, hopefully, plenty of time, 2 weeks, plenty of time to order it from. I will find a couple shops that you can order it from. And the floss, depending on how I converted all the things. Details next week for sure for the Tiger Lily Birthday Sal 2024. Woohoo! So, but we've got the whole month. It's December 3rd, or December. January 31st. That's when we're going to start it. So excited. Okay, so Flosstube haul, kindness, will applique 12 winners. I told you, don't forget, watch the videos. Last thing I want to tell you are this little Tiger Lily shop update here at the end. And life. We'll do a little life/shop. Life, fantastic. My break with my kids was short, too short. When your kids are 9 hours away, like, that sucks. You know, as a mom, if you're a mom, you understand. You know, they were here in 24/7, like just yesterday, I swear. Blink. And now they're off being, I call them baby adults, baby grown-ups. They don't really like that. We're still learning though, so you're definitely still a baby adult. Working on the baby grown-up stuff, making grown-up decisions. Slowly, every little bit, you know, that's how you do. It's what you're learning. So they're both down there. It was a great visit, wonderful, lots of quality time. I tried to be intentional with my time, and that is my word of the year. I've never done a word of the year. I won't say I won't have time for it, but I just didn't feel like it was, Shelly made me this for Christmas too. I almost forgot. I left it up there so that I wouldn't take it for the display, and then I almost forgot. Isn't that the sweetest? Okay, I just saw it in my rear view. Didn't want to forget. So sweet. Love it. It's right there. Okay. Word of the year. I've never had a word of the year. But for both personal and business, my word of the year is intentional. I just feel sometimes I'm squirreling for so many different things. And I'm not going to get into it, but that's just, I'm excited. I'm excited about it, and we'll see where it takes me. Maybe we'll talk about it more later. I feel like this video is already a movie, so we won't talk about it more now, but I just want to share with you. That's what it is. Two things I do want to share with you about Tiger Lily, the business, and some changes that are coming in 2024. So as you know, the Keeper Club, fantastic. Love it. Love you. If you're a part of the Keeper Club, thank you, thank you, thank you. You can still join the wait list. I can't tell you when the wait list is going to open up again. There will not be spots opening up for January. And as far as I can see right now, there aren't any spots opening up for April. It all just, you know, depends on people canceling. That's it. Some people cancel and they're generous enough, and they tell me, like, I want to give somebody else a spot, and that's super, super sweet. But otherwise, I mean, I get it. I love all the keepers, so once you give up your spot, you give up your spot. So that's the Keeper Club. Join the wait list down below if you want to. Like I said, I don't know when there's going to open it up. I do want to go ahead and just put this bug in your ear. Advent 2023 blew me away with the love that you gave it, so much fun I had doing it. Long story short, 2024 is already, the fabric's here. It's awesome. That's all I'm going to say about that. It is so freaking awesome. Sorry, excuse my French. So awesome. And I actually already have 2 small vendors lined up too. So the Advent 2024 is in full effect. Those are going to be limited quantities again. They are going to go on sale May 1st. So I know it's January. You're like, why the heck are you? I just am telling you because I've received many, many emails of people wanting to know, how do they do it? How do they get on the list? There's not going to be a list. It's going to just be on a mail. More details to come, but May 1st is when the Advent boxes will go on sale for 2024. So that's the Advent. And then last but not least, it's going to be hard. I hope well received. Maybe not. Last year, if you were here, you know, in 2023, I had the Keeper Club, as well as every month I would do a shop update on the 15th of every month. It would always be different. Sometimes they would be fabric. Sometimes they would be vintage stitching. Sometimes they would be like little bundles with the scissor fobs that my mom made that were patchwork, and we'd, you know, do it all. Every month there was something different on the 15th. Small, medium, there was never a large shop update, but you know, something for a little keeper bundle shop update. Unfortunately, Tiger Lily, I'm making some business changes this year, and that is an area of consistency that I have to withdraw from, meaning there will not be a guaranteed shop update on the 15th every month. I just remember, every keeper is made with my two hands. The end. So, there are just not enough hours in the day. And remember, I'm intentional. I'm trying to focus and be intentional on my time and not burn out and not be a sweatshop, really. So I had to let something go because there's new things coming. That's what's exciting. So there might be a little bit disappointment that the 15th updates are gone. Now, I will tell you, I have 5 buckets of vintage stitching. So there will be more keepers. And those are my favorite. I mean, all of them are my favorite. But I love making those one-of-a-kind Save the Stitches vintage stitching keepers. So there will be shop updates. They're just going to be surprise pop-up type situations. I don't know if I'm going to end up warning or sneak peeking them. It's not warning. If I'm going to end up sneak peeking them for you on a Flosstube, or it's just an Instagram like shop update tomorrow. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do it. The moral of the story is it's not going to be every 15th. I can't commit that time. I need to shift my focus, my business, my things, so the new things that are coming. And I'm so excited about it. I can't share any more details besides that, but something had to give, and that was what did. So, I know it's sad. I'm sad. I wish I could do it. I don't wish I could work 24/7 because I don't. That's not what life's about. But I wish I could give everybody a keeper who wanted a keeper. That's what I wish. But in the meantime, I hope you're excited about the new things coming. Ideas, explosion, business planning is so exciting. I love it. I love this community. I love doing things with you. I love doing things for you. I love enabling and making all the things. And I hope you're excited for the new and what's coming. But in the meantime, friends, there we are. That's Flosstube 90, I think. Maybe. I don't remember. That was like 12 years ago that I had the intro. Anytime. Anywhoosie, that's it for today. I'm going to try to be back next Friday. If not, there will be a video next Friday. That could be part of the changes. We shall see. Just see how quickly I ramp things out. Slow. I want to do it right. That's the moral of the story. I'm not going to do it until it's fully ready. And so it's coming. It's in the works. I'm excited. So until next time, friends, happy quilting, happy knitting, happy hooking, happy making, happy wool applique, happy doing all the things. And of course, happy stitching.